Hello, welcome to the Musclehead Podcast. This is Scott Tuzan of MetabolicMasterpiece.com, along with Brian Cron of BrianCron.com.
Kabam.
Kabam. Today we are going to be sharing an update. It's been almost 2 weeks since our last Ripped report. I've been away on vacation, so I'll be sharing how I ate and my activities during that time. Did I gain any weight? Brian, what he's been up to during this time, sticking with his diet, how training's been, and really focusing on that the process of going from lean to ripped. A physique that's maintainable and a physique that you know you're just trying to peak for and not maintain. So we'll be diving into that conversation. I think that's going to come out as we share our updates, what's been going on. So how things been with you, bro? How's the diet? How's the training? What's going on?
It's been actually very good, very enlightening, very insightful. I mean, I've been relatively consistent. I can tell just reading my body cues and how heavy my legs feel. I'm coming to the end. So I figured I got another 3 weeks or so of this, and I want to do a little last kind of push and then just chill out and relax a bit. So I just mentally, I'm starting to grind metal a little bit, but it's been very good process. This is the most kind of, on the one hand, I've been very flexible, and I certainly haven't beat myself up when I've relapsed or screwed up or whatever.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I've been very hyper focused on what really matters. So it's been a good learning experience.
Well, that's awesome. And you're looking great, man. I don't think you've done a show in a tank top, so it's great to see those veins and those cuts.
Well, it's finally actually above 20 degrees Celsius in Calgary, so man, I'm stoked. You know, everyone's outside running around in the sun. It's not raining for a change. So.
That's hilarious. I've probably spent more time in the past 2 months not wearing a shirt versus wearing a shirt. I am, every time I'm outdoors, that shirt is off. And it's any excuse to take the shirt off, or at least wear a tank top in this case.
Well, must be nice. Live somewhere with heat, man. Must be nice.
Yeah. So what's going on? Has the nutrition been pretty good for the most part?
Nutrition's been really good, man. I mean, I've been sitting around 2,000 calories or so. I say or so because I'm not super precise. I allow myself a little bit of leeway here and there. And it's been good. I'm getting those telltale signs that, you know, like my legs are, like I said, my legs feel really heavy. I've had to cut back on, you know, any and all cardio, just very low intensity stuff, and my sleep's starting to get affected. And you know, certainly I like how I look and everything. It's fine, but I'm ready for that final push. And I'm ready for that. I've kind of made that deal, and I'd like to talk about this. I make a deal at the end of these things is that I'm going to make myself honestly suffer a little bit for the next 2-3 weeks, suffering in quotations, you know what I mean? And I'm going to do as good as I can, and that I'm not going to be able to sustain what I accomplish. You know, I can sustain how I look right now with relative ease, but where I want to get to, that'll be like my peak, and I'll enjoy it and maybe take a picture or two, whatever. But then it's gonna be like I'll allow myself to fall back a bit, and so I'm kind of like preparing for that right now. Just a little bit of suffering coming up. You know, bring those calories down, probably 20-25%. We'll see whatever I can tolerate. Try to do it the old school way, not blunt my hunger with a bunch of stimulants and stuff. Just kind of own the hunger and just see how it feels. Well, I know how it's gonna feel. It's gonna fucking suck, but it's, you know, it's part of the process. So
yeah. Always interesting to see how you can push the calories without going too extreme. And it's different when you're cutting the calories and going with a low intensity cardio. Just not over exerting yourself, whereas you're cutting calories and upping your cardio at the same time and trying to do everything you can. And that's when I think you can run into those problems, burnout, run yourself into the ground and all that. So it's a delicate balancing act there.
Yeah, like I went into a real rut not too long ago, and any amount of cardio was just making me so tired. Yeah. And I was just like, even like going for a walk around my block, I was just getting so tired. So I thought, but I always get amped up for weight training workouts. So I thought, all right, you know, man, I'll just split my weight workouts in two. go in the morning, do half my workout, maybe go in at night and get my pump on again. And it lasted all of 3 days. And then my recovery was like, I could barely like roll out of bed. I was so tired. So I was like, all right, that was a stupid move. So I went back. I just went right back down to my exercise, just like one 45-minute workout a day. And then I was able to reintroduce the cardio again. But it's just little things like, if I was a coaching client of myself, I'd be like, no, don't freaking do that. No. But you're your own worst coach sometimes. So yeah, so that was a little learning experience for me. But,
very cool. Yeah, I'm definitely in the same boat there, where I really love how I'm looking right now. This is absolutely 100% sustainable for me. And taking that 4-week push, that home stretch here, and it's really got me thinking. Like this is where I want my new ceiling to be in terms of fat gain. So when I go through my next muscle building phase, this is the level of body fat that I'm comfortable getting up to. I don't want to push it beyond this, just because I find it doesn't help me, it doesn't benefit me much more going beyond where I'm at right now, and it just means I'm going to be in a cutting phase longer. So when I think to myself right now, a 4-week push from here, I can do it. Yeah, there's going to be some suffering, but it's done and over within 4 weeks. I would love for that to always be the case, like in the future from here on out, after the end of a building phase, knowing I only have 4 to 6 weeks at the most that I'm going to spend in a cutting phase. Then I can get back to another 12, 16 week building phase. So I think from here on out, I don't think this my plan right now is to do 12 to 16 week muscle building phases with just these little mini cuts where I'm not dragging it out, because I feel like this one has kind of been dragging on a little longer than it should have, but it's been summertime, so I've had stuff like weeks where I've either maintained or I've gone up a little bit that I have to make up for. So it's just been, and I knew that was going to happen, planned for that. But yeah, I like the idea of just shorter cutting phases if I can. Unless, of course, I'm going to take it to the next extreme and step on stage again. Then I'd have to prolong that cut a little bit more. But to get from where I'm at now, where I think I'm pretty damn ripped, to crazy freaking shredded, that's a little bit more work involved.
Yeah, it definitely is, and that's kind of one of the nice thing. Everyone always talks about, you got to set a deadline. You got to set a deadline, and that's super important. As soon as you assign a deadline to something, it becomes real. And I get it, blah blah blah. But I think in this process, especially if you're not competitive, if you're just hyper competitive with yourself, I think it's really beneficial to have a very flexible deadline. And I just again, I'm writing another blog post on this, and I just went through my old training journals, and always my 12-week diets, I was just getting a laugh out of this, because my 12-week diets, I'd look at it, be like, January 15th of my 12-week diet, and then it'd be like May of my 12-week diet. So I'm like, holy shit, man, we're like 16 or 20 weeks in. So, you know what I mean? It's never, like, a plan is a plan, but it's always subject to change. You know what I mean? Like, depending on your condition or what you got going on in your life, or just maybe you just don't want to suffer that much and you want to just kind of cruise in. And that's what I did this year. So we didn't really set a date or anything. I'm just do the best I can for as long as I can sustain it. And I found that to be a little just easier on the brain, because it's not like, I got 18 days left. Now I've set, like, I don't want to be doing this shit in September. So
exactly.
Now I've set a deadline. It's more of like a drop dead date. But you know what I mean. But like, I think as a whole, it's kind of nicer to have a very flexible, just more like a kind of a bird's eye approach.
Love it. And I know Jeff Alberts a while ago from 3DMJ. He spoke about this, how you decide, like, how long do you think it's going to take for you to get ripped. If you think it's going to be 12 weeks or 16 weeks, add on another 4 to 6 weeks to that, because you're going just to account for weekends out, going out for dinner with your spouse, going on vacations here and there. Life happens, so you've got to kind of plan that in there. So if it's going to take you 12 perfect weeks of eating, then definitely set it for 16 weeks instead, just to make sure you have some of that wiggle room. So along the same idea, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it's just, I used to really get caught up when I was younger. I was like, oh, I got, 10 weeks to go. I got 9 weeks to go. And now I'm just more like, man, I got as long as it takes, as long as I can handle it,
Yeah.
And it's just, it's a little bit, is it as hardcore? Maybe not. But I just think it's more, for the level, for the age I'm at and my goals, I think it's a lot better. But
and you're not pushing it way off. It's not like you're completely slacking off and I'll start tomorrow, I'll push it back to tomorrow. You're being reasonable, I think, and it's a much smarter approach. You are achieving your goal, so what if it's just a little bit further in the distance? But if you immediately out of the gates think it's going to take 12 weeks and you give yourself 16 weeks, it immediately gives you that wiggle room, and then just decide, all right, no more than 16 weeks. I've got to end it at that. Because you've already kind of programmed that flexibility in there. I think it's a good approach.
But I agree with you. Staying leaner most of the year, especially once you're over 40. I mean, that's like I firmly believe, and I get arguments on the internet all the time with people. I still say the quickest way to add muscle is to overeat and train and rest and let yourself get a little bit fat. I mean, if there's just nothing. There's no quicker way to add weight, but it is depending on your genetics and your age and a whole shitload and what you're comfortable with, it's just not practical. I can't do that anymore. Like I guess I could with, but I don't want to look at myself in the mirror and go, wow, look at the fat bastard. I'm just not, mentally I'm not there anymore. Plus I don't want to get that much bigger, but so I think
that's 100%. You need you really the best. You hear a lot. Some people say, "Oh, you just need adequate calories. You can gain muscle eating at maintenance."
What is that? Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, exactly. We don't know for sure. I mean, the exact calories in the food you're consuming, the exact calories that you're burning. Are you really in a 250 calorie surplus today, or are you not? It's a guessing game. So the only way to know for sure you're in a surplus is to overeat and to make sure you're putting in the work to build the muscle. But it's just being smart right now, especially with this many years of training and our age. Me being a smaller guy in particular, like I hear other people say, give yourself that 15 to 20 pounds that you can gain afterwards. Well, 15 to 20 pounds extra for me. If I gain 20 extra pounds, I guarantee at least 15 of it's going to be fat. And is it worth it for me? At this stage, no way. It's just so I'm really finding, like, with myself, my weight, my genetics, like giving myself 5 to 10 pounds is more realistic, especially in a 12 to 16 week building phase. If I gain 5 to 10 pounds, I may gain a pound of muscle out of that. So I'd rather just keep it to 5 pounds gained in 12 weeks and hope that a pound of that is muscle. Even if it's a half a pound, I can burn that off, fat off relatively quickly, and get back to muscle building again. So
I just think you have to be careful. And did I tell you my taco story? Did I ever tell my taco? Anyways, I don't want to. These are my friends. So I don't want to name them by names because they're good friends. They're good coaches, and they're just Anyway, I was out with a couple of fellow coaches in New York City, and we're out eating. Went out for tacos, like gourmet tacos, and one of the guys was actively trying to gain weight. Like I can't remember the last time I sat down and said, I'm trying to gain weight. It's probably been 10 years since I've said that.
Yeah.
But but this guy's like, I think he's maybe 170 pounds. No offense. And so he's like, and he's right away, he's on his app. And he's like, okay, I got another, 440 calories to eat today. So how many tacos? So he's trying to figure out, like, these tacos we're ordering. And in the time that he's computing this, I've eaten about $200 worth of tacos, and I'm just like, and of course at the same time he's, they're kind of like, well, how do we gain, they're smaller than I am. They're like, well, how do you gain muscle? And I'm like, well, this is kind of this is how you don't gain muscle, is you don't try to pretend like you have all this control and that the calorie content in this, in the food you're eating to the gram, and that your caloric needs to the gram, that like you gotta let yourself just kind of be like, just you don't own this, man. Like you're not in that much control. Just let yourself be, just eat until you're full. Eat good quality foods until you're full, and maybe just guesstimate on your app.
Right. Give yourself a little bit more flexibility and freedom there, and you'll know, like looking at your physique. Okay, what I'm eating going based on how I'm feeling, like level of satisfaction and fullness during the. If it looks like I'm gaining fat a little bit quicker than I should, then you can dial it back a little bit. That's it. It's always, you can pull on the reins. That's the one that you can keep things in check if you're being smart. Yeah,
it's so much better. It's like I'm gonna eat more than I'm comfortably normally eating, and I'm gonna watch how my body reacts. And if I start to get fat, I'll eat less. I mean, that's it sounds really rudimentary and childish, but that's more accurate than, well, I know I'm burning 2,700 calories and I walked 500 steps to get here, and like, come on, man, you know what I mean? Like these are all best guesses. You know what I mean? Like, I blame the apps, man. I blame the apps.
Yeah, they're tools, but you shouldn't be living your life by the tool.
Anyway, but at our age, man, you gotta, once you're over 40, man, you gotta keep that shit in check. You can't be getting too fat.
No, and we have an image to uphold as well. Like, I love being ripped. Love being ripped in my videos. I mean, we're a walking billboard for what we do as well. But just for me, more than anything, it's just I feel fucking awesome. I love ripping the shirt off. I really, any chance I get, I love that feeling of fucking the sun's out. I had a
sun's out, bums out
for sure. When I went and visited some other fitness colleagues, fellow fitness YouTubers in Toronto a few weeks back, we're on the way to a restaurant. I'm like, wearing a tank top and the sun was beating down on us. I'm like, I don't want a tan line here. So I'm like, downtown Toronto, just shirt off. I'm like, forget this, man. So I don't care how douchey that is, man. Hell yeah, I'm gonna be flaunting it and being proud of what I've accomplished there. So yeah, I think I've learned a lot about myself throughout this cutting phase. My new level of standards, and just the process itself, just learning, because I've done a few things different than I've ever done in the past, and learned from those, learned what I'll never do again, and just
what I'll never do again.
Just learn. I don't know.
I know. It's amazing. I screw up every year. I find a way to screw something up.
Yeah.
So that's because everyone needs a coach, man. I mean, I got people, brains that I pick, but I don't have anyone I consistently fall back on, and it shows, because when you're in it yourself, you make these your brain, in my blog I talk about the trickster. The fucking trickster just starts messing with me. I start making decisions that, overeating some things and overdoing cardio in other ways, and just making dumb, impulsive decisions. So it's funny. It's a nonstop learning process.
100%. And I've screwed up this cut for sure, like you haven't, but I've learned from it, and this cut has been way better than any of my previous cuts. Even though I've made mistakes, you're always learning, always improving, and I feel like I've gained a lot from this cut that I'll carry forward in the future for sure.
Yep.
Very cool.
So how many more weeks you got left, man? Like
I'm 3 to 4. 4 is what I'm aiming at. That's going to bring us right to, I think, September 1st or something like that is from today. So talking with some other guys in Toronto, the guys I just went up and visited. So we're gonna schedule a DEXA scan. So depending on when that is, but I'll probably push it to that first week of September. So 4 more weeks will give me more than enough time. I'll really grind this out. I've got a little bit like events coming up, so again, it gives me a little bit of wiggle room to play with there. But I'm close. I feel really close to where I want to be physically. So I'm pretty content. 4 weeks, and that's it. Like you, come September, like after Labor Day, or actually at the beginning of Labor Day, that may be my goal. Is like Labor Day weekend. By Labor Day weekend, done. Then Labor Day weekend will be that'll be the cut of the build. Is probably mentally where I'm good. That'll end the summer and just get into building season. And I'm definitely confident with that approach there.
There's something to be said. Like people I coach, I'm always like, don't look, because especially guys are always like, what do I do when I'm done? I'm done in 4 weeks. What do we do then? And it's just like, dude, let's just own the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And then we can talk about that then. But I always do kind of think ahead and just how I want to rebound this cutting phase with, or if I even will rebound it. I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah,
definitely,
I think it gets me excited, like thinking about the building phase, and it also keeps me in shape. I'm like, all right, my building phase starts Labor Day weekend, so I've got to achieve my goal by then. So there's no I can't negotiate with myself.
Yeah.
It's non-negotiable. I am done
Yeah.
then. I am starting this then, so I'm excited about it.
I'm gonna make everybody on the internet happy. I'm gonna promise to get my deadlift back up to 500 pounds, just because that's what I should be able to do.
Ah, fuck.
Everyone always tells me what I should be able to do. So, all right, man, I'll do that.
Shits what anyone else thinks. I don't care what you think. I should weigh, what I should lift, whatever. Yeah, man, this has been awesome. Update for me, vacation wise. I mean, I did gain 3 pounds during that time. 10 days off, relaxing on my diet, not that big a deal. I'm actually really happy with that, because in the past, it would have been much more than that. And I think one of the secrets for me during that time, number one, being crazy freaking active. We were in Tobermory, Ontario, Canada. We were hiking for hours every day. It was awesome. Scenery, incredible. And when we weren't hiking, we were swimming. We were just non-stop. And come nighttime, sitting under the stars, just crashing, falling asleep, and having some of the best sleeps ever. So sleep quality was great. Activity was great. Nutrition, I kept it to 2 meals a day, my breakfast and my dinner, and they were solid meals. Like my typical breakfast, very typical dinners to what I'd eat at home. And then the rest of the day, I snacked. And snacking is where I gained the extra weight, but I enjoyed myself. Like, it really felt like I relaxed on my diet, I let loose, but I still kept it in control. It could have been kept in control a little bit better if I wanted to, but it was vacation, it was good. It took me 3 days to get that weight off again. So that's how I know, like, this look, this feel is very sustainable, because I can go 10 days eating whatever the fuck I want, gain just a little bit of weight, and pull it back real quick. So definitely sustainable, living life to the fullest. So really happy with that. Just a great time. I feel rejuvenated, refreshed. I think one of the things I came home really appreciating was workout partners. I love my workout partners, man, because I got home on Sunday and it was their day off. So I'm like, I got to get in the gym. What did you do yesterday? They did chest and back. I'm like, okay, I'll go do a quick chest and back workout. Just not the same for me. I didn't have the same drive. I had a party to go to like an hour after I got to the gym, so I knew the workout was going to be quick. I was just all distracted, just not focused. And I'd just been out paddleboarding, so I was like lazy. I was still in the vacation mode, and it just showed me how easy it is to kind of fall out of those good habits. You go away for a week, you start relaxing on your diet, you're not working out. It can be a challenge to get it going. But the next day when I trained with my partners, it was like, fucking right, bring it on. I'm ready for this home stretch here. So really surrounding yourself with like-minded people going through the same thing has been really beneficial to me as well.
Yeah, definitely. I wish I had a good workout partner, but what can I say, man? Got to go on my own.
I feel for you, man. Well, I used to do it myself, and it's not like you need one, but it's a difference. I'm lucky. I'm really, really lucky for sure.
No, next 3 weeks for me though, just no alcohol, no dairy, just very, 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 very bro diet, because it works for me. So, and that's just getting into that mental place. I'm already dealing with tolerable hunger, but now I want to see just a little bit less manageable hunger. See if I can make myself suffer a bit, and see how that feels.
Let's bring it home, man. I'm not making any promise about alcohol. I know next weekend we go on just a 2-day camping trip, and there'll be 2 nights where I'll be drinking some alcohol for sure. And then the weekend after that, we have a party to go to on the Saturday. So I'll be drinking a little bit then. So there's 2 occasions that I know for sure I'll be having a little bit, but I'm going to be keeping things in check for sure. Excellent. Home stretch, brother. Let's finish this good.
Yeah.
Excellent ripped report. Looking solid.
We're ripped.
Okay, right. All right. check out, Brian just released another recent article there about Lean to Ripped, briancron.com. Check out my site, metabolicmasterpiece.com. If you have any feedback, comment below. Any suggestions, anything you want us to cover, comment down below. Like us, rate us, give us a 5-star, all that freaking good stuff. If you like, give us a big hug online, whatever the hell you want, a big bro pump, fist pump. All right, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next episode.
Damn.